Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining me today. We are going to be talking about the ELI assessment and debrief. If you have been watching me and following me for some time, you are very familiar with the Energy Leadership Index assessment that I offer for my clients to take. I am an ELI Master Practitioner, which means I am certified to administer this assessment. All of the coaches on the Hensel Coaching and Consulting website are also ELI MPs and are also certified to administer this assessment as well. What I am going to do today is take you along with me while I do an ELI assessment debrief. This debrief takes about 2 hours. I'm only going to be sharing bits and pieces. This is a tailored assessment for you. The best way for me to share with you what this assessment can provide is it's really looking at the lens and filter that you see through and how you are showing up with energetically in this world. We have anabolic energy and we have catabolic energy. Anabolic energy is positive, constructive, and uplifting. It heals the soul. It is the type of energy that allows you to set and achieve goals, provide genuine care for another person, and lead a low-stress life. The energy is typically associated with endorphins and oxytocin, which is the love hormone. The contrast to anabolic energy is catabolic energy. It is contracting, draining, and results in a low ability to resolve conflict. It is the type of energy that is present in our fight or flight response and is typically associated with hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. It is a great response to have when you are trying to escape from a burning building, but it often exasperates tense situations that require a more nuanced reaction. We are a mix of both. We will show up with anabolic and catabolic energy throughout our day-to-day navigation, depending on circumstances. But we all have what I would call a primary energy that we show up with. When all is going well, there's a certain energy that we tend to put out into this world. And for some, that's going to be anabolic. For others, it's going to be catabolic. When we are under stress and we have something holding us back or causing tension or again stress, we're going to show up with a different energy. Often that is going to be catabolic energy, and often it will make sense that you are going to go into a catabolic state. The question is, are you going there by default or are you going there because it serves a purpose? Often there is a reason to go into catabolic energy. It could prevent some life circumstance from having that could be very unfortunate. And when we do your ELI debrief, you are going to learn so much more, and you're also going to learn what you are showing up with when all is well and you're not under stress, but also what you're showing up with under stress and how long you are staying there. That's the big thing. And are you going there by default? Now, understand that energy is always in motion. We cannot kill energy. This also is not a personality assessment. While I love the personality assessments like the Myers-Briggs, our personality is fixed sometime before we graduate from high school. So those assessments are great because they can help the trajectory of your life or propel you in a certain direction, but still, your personality is fixed. It is not plastic. It is not still in motion. Energy can be shifted. So this assessment is powerful because you can take the tools provided, find out how you're showing up. So many things will make sense to you once you find out more about yourself, because this is all based on your lens, your filter, your perceptions, your attitude on the people in the world, situations, and yourself, and how you see these things. It'll also make sense why other people don't necessarily see through the same lens or see things the way that you do. It will really help you navigate relationships better, because once you know more about yourself, you'll also know more about other people and what they're showing up with. The other thing that's so important to know is that like attracts like. energy attracts like energy. So you will attract or reflect those desired or undesired. So if you have a lot of catabolic energy and you have a lot of drama in your life, well, it makes sense that you would. Because if you're putting out drama, that's what's coming back. Often the person or the client that will share with me, my family, there's so much drama. Well, through some probing questions, I also find out that they're creating a lot of drama themselves, so it makes sense they're attracting it. Someone like myself who comes from a very anabolic lens, I don't have drama with anyone in my life. Now, could I? Probably. If I were catabolic, I would attract that. So it's so powerful to know this about yourself. I can't recommend it high enough. About a week and a half ago, I did a video sharing some thoughts and observations that I have made since administering the ELI assessment. And there's been a thread and a pattern that I'm noticing on performance or goal-driven people versus those that aren't getting the job done. You will definitely want to watch that video. It will be linked in the drop-down box below. I will also have it up here in the corner. But yeah, there's a pattern. If you're showing up with a lot of catabolic energy in your life, it may make sense why you're held back from actually achieving your goals. Believe it or not, a lot of it is what's going on inside. Perceptions, limited beliefs, interpretations, assumptions that you are making can all hold you back from achieving your goals and keep you in that catabolic state. But today I'm going to share with you an ELI debrief that I am going to do on a person who graciously accepted to put herself out there and to be transparent, because there's a lot of information that comes up with this. Again, you will only be seeing bits and pieces because who has over 2 hours to watch a video of an ELI debrief? The most important thing, you do an ELI assessment. You find out where you're coming from, what your lens is seeing. There will be a link in the drop-down box below where you can get your booking to do an ELI assessment in 2-hour debrief, either with myself or one of the coaches on the Hensel Coaching and Consulting website. Again, we are all certified to give this assessment, and we are all giving assessments all throughout the week. There's a booking calendar for all of us. It doesn't really matter who you choose to go with. The assessment is going to be the same. We all coach a little different, but at the end of the day, the ELI assessment and debrief are going to be somewhat similar with each coach. Let me also share with you, this is not a typical coaching session, but if you really want to propel in your life and move the needle in whatever area and just be a happier, more fulfilled, satisfied individual and live an optimal life, the more you find out about yourself and you invest in yourself, the quicker you will get there. Powerful, such a powerful assessment. I recommend it for everyone of all ages. We also offer the 360. So if you have a business and you would like the ELI assessment 360, you can reach out. Contact my business manager through her email, which will be in the drop-down box below, and she can get you in connection with getting set up to have that assessment in your business. And all of the coaches on the HCC website are qualified to do that. So yeah, let's walk you through what takes place in a debrief and find out what type of energy this particular person is showing up with. All right. Are you ready?
I think I'm as ready as I'm ever going to be.
Awesome. All right. Okay, so I'm going to be doing a lot of talking in this. Okay. It's not like a typical coaching session, but we're going to go ahead and get started. So we're going to look at your results. This is when it gets exciting. You're going to turn to page 10. So this is going to be the blue chart. Love this page. So as you read the report, you had an opportunity to read about the 7 levels of energy. And according to the top chart, which 2 levels have the longest bars?
My 4 and 5.
Your 4 and 5. Yep. Level 1, or the primary that you would show up with would be level 4. Secondary would be level 5. And we also look a little bit at tertiary, which is your 3rd, and that would be level 6. So the beautiful thing about this is these are all anabolic. You still aren't showing up with a high percentage in each of these. So I could have another client whose primary is level 4 and secondary is level 5, but their primary could be 30% in level 4. So it's not it doesn't mean that you guys show up the same, because
Right.
there is the percentage factor that you have to look at as well. We are going to start diving into your energetic makeup. So we're going to start with level 1. Your energetic profile contains 14.5%, and your energetic stress reaction contains 52.4% of this energy. So this is your primary level of energy that you show up with under stress. Again, don't judge it. Don't judge it. It's normal for you. And again, I've never seen anyone that did not have level 1 be their longest bar. It was my longest bar to everyone. I mean, and I've seen all the coaches. We're all level 1 in the moment.
Okay.
You find out a lot more about this. Very common with my level 1s is just that. They may go to something, they may attend a party or a meeting or some type of networking event, whatever. They leave and they start replaying things in their mind. And then they're like, I probably shouldn't have said that. They start to analyze and wish they would have done things different.
Just nice to be able to put like a level to that. Like,
Yeah.
that it's that thing of like in the moment, you're like, oh wow, am I overreacting to this? But it's that thing of like, it's nice to know that everybody has this way of reacting to things, that you're not alone.
Right. Oh, absolutely not. I do think that's what's powerful as well. It's not, I mean, it's nice to know that we all go there. And especially when you find out it makes sense that you would.
Right.
So yeah. And what's funny is what we actually find out is, see, again, you don't have a lot of high percentages up here, but I have some clients that have a really high percentage of level 4.
Okay.
Now, we know level 4 is anabolic, but we find out a lot of things with that high percentage that does not serve them. Now, I don't know for you because we haven't gotten that far, and you don't have anything that's like, bam, up here. You do down here. So we would definitely want to explore why there's such a high percentage in level 1, but you've also shared that you also experience anxiety. So that could be
right.
I really like to spend time on this level 1 to help people to understand that it really does have a purpose at certain times.
Okay.
It's just often it's not serving us. So those were examples of level 1 by choice almost, because it worked in that moment. But when we go to level 1 by default, which is probably what's happening with you just because you have such a high percentage, it's trying to figure out, why am I defaulting to that? And when? Is it certain situations? Is it environment? Maybe it's a work environment, but not home. Is it certain people? We don't know, but that's probably what's taking you there. And I can just tell by the look on your face, like I can rattle off these people.
Yeah, right.
Generally, that's the case. Okay. So according to how you answered your questions, when you are in a situation or with particular people and are experiencing level 1 energy, you do often replay events in your mind wishing you had acted differently. So that did show up. Okay, we're going to move on to level 2. And let me just share that this is your secondary level that you show up with under stress, 26.2%. So, again, there's no judgment. It's definitely there. So we would have to figure out why. So we have 14.5% in your energetic profile, and we have the 26.2 of this energy in your stress reaction. Level 2 is catabolic and is characterized by conflict. From a level 2 perspective, everything tends to be viewed as black or white, right or wrong, good or bad. And often that's where level 2 shows up a lot, because some people just come from that lens. There's no gray.
Right.
He's bad or he's good, or she, whatever. There's no in between. In level 1, if you're playing the game of life, in level 1, I lose, you win, because I've given up. Okay, I've just given up. I disengage, I withdraw, I avoid. So I lose, you win. Level 2 is different in the fact that, no. I win, you lose.
Okay.
Going back to my 20-year-old self, if Paul and if I said the restaurant's cold and he said the restaurant's hot, no, it's cold. I know. You know nothing.
It's just, I win no matter what the thing is. I know how to change a diaper. You don't. I know how to bathe a baby. You don't. I know how to feed a kid. Totally. I was just a hot mess of level 2, I think. So yes, when someone is approaching a situation through a level 2 lens, the tendency is to take charge and control of the situation to assure a win. So if someone does have that tendency that I'm right, that's exactly what it is. I'm assuring a win here. I can't let go of the fact that you may see it from a different lens or angle. So there's advantages and disadvantages. Once again, advantages: level 2 energy enables people to get a lot done. That is why people often say they work well under stress. While people can accomplish much by force, success can come at a cost. The disadvantages: since motivation is forced, the results from level 2 are not sustainable and can eventually impair motivation, levels of satisfaction, and the productivity of others. The use of force, fear, intimidation are short-term strategies that have long-term impacts. So let's say you have 2 teams. Mm-hmm. Each team in the organization has their team leader, the boss, the manager, whatever you want to call it. And you have one manager for team A, and this manager is not forceful at all. In fact, this manager is very collaborative. Let's work together. He or she digs right in and does the work with them. Okay, they have an assignment to accomplish. Team B also has the same assignment. They have a tyrant for a manager, and everything is forceful, very dictating, do this, do that, pressure, intimidation, all of these things. Well, Team B may initially get going on this project, maybe ahead of Team A, because they're operating out of force. Very short term though, but in the long run, Team A is probably going to achieve the project before Team B, because people are going to die off because it's coming from force and intimidation, which will never sustain because there's no collaborative thinking. So often that's what will happen in more of a setting like that. It could happen in a home as well. It just really depends. With your answers, when you're in a situation or with particular people and you're experiencing level 2 energy, you may have a tendency to not fully trust those around you. It may be difficult for other people to meet your expectations. You may also feel a need to protect yourself so that others won't take advantage of you or overrun you. And when experiencing level 2 energy, being right is important to you.
It's interesting for me because like level 1 is something that I like, that's me just internalizing. Like, you said like if Starla were to run towards the road, for me, I would like experience, I think, more level 2 just because like she knows better. We've trained her that she doesn't run towards the road.
Good example.
And when you talk about like, 2 different teams at work, like that like really resonates with me. Like there's the one side of the hall that operates with, a leader that dives right in. There's the other side that operates like a tyrant, and that just resonates so well. And I do find that with my level 2, I'm thinking of a few weeks ago when like I really was level 2, and I think it makes me get stuff done. And that's when I do become more, I will be confrontational because I'm just so mad that I can't hold it in anymore. So, I will say what I need to say to make things better.
Yeah. And it's great to recognize that, because then you know when it's coming up. We're going to move into level 3. And the nice thing about level 3 is we're now getting our feet wet with anabolic energy. The focus at this level is on winning and achieving the desired results. When something happens that is perceived as negative or stressful, a level 3 perspective allows people to release the negativity and keep focused on the desired outcome. Advantages: at level 3, people are able to move past any judgment or negativity so they can remain focused on making positive movement toward the goal or desired outcome. The disadvantages: since level 3 allows people to move past negativity in the moment It doesn't address the actual level 1 or level 2 energy under the surface. As a result, there could be a tendency to tolerate or settle for good enough in the pursuit of finding solutions to move forward. Underlying issues may go unaddressed. So let's say you had a couple and they were dating, and there was just a lot of things that concerned her. She saw a lot of red flags, but then she would almost try to persuade herself to see the good. Well, she would reason with herself to see the positive, which can be good if it serves her. Okay. So we don't know. We never know the situation. But if there's all these red flags and they keep popping up, she's sweeping them under the rug and not really addressing what the underlying issue is, which could manifest into something greater later on, which could create more level 1 and level 2 from her. For you, through your level 3 lens, you can work with someone even if you do not see them as being up to your level. You can also put differences aside to work with people that you don't like. So what comes up for you with level 3, or even how you feel you could, maybe some scenarios where you could learn to shift?
With my business, like my own web design business, it's that I get so focused on the details of things that I'm not looking at the outer picture. So I can see where that is like a level 3 area of, I don't want to settle for, just okay. Like I have to have that perfection. So I think that's where I see it a lot for me. I do think I am to an extent, I am pretty good at putting aside differences with people. Like I accept that everybody has their own way of thinking, own way of learning. So I'm good with that. But again, that's one of those internal things for me that I want better for myself. So I'm not good at just sitting at level 3, I don't think.
Yeah. Level 4 energy looks and feels selfless, since the focus of these actions is on others winning and succeeding. People experiencing level 4 energy tend to be great problem solvers. As a result, people with a level 4 perspective tend to come from a heart space and make deep connections. When decisions are to be made, they consider the implications on others before taking action. It's important to remember that this level also includes nurturing oneself through self-care, which sometimes is the missing link for some of my level 4s. The advantages: at level 4 energy, people really do care about helping and serving others. The disadvantages: without establishing healthy boundaries, the tendency of level 4 energy is to place everyone's needs ahead of your own or get pulled into other people's drama.
I'm just curious that, like, have you taken this assessment like more than once? Just because I wonder, like,
No, but it would probably change.
The boundary thing has been something that I've worked on a lot. Even like when I take a sick day from, or a vacation day from like my full-time job, I still feel that like guilt in my head when I hear my emails coming in, like I should be answering it. I shouldn't be off today. So It's been a challenge for me to actually set those boundaries, and like, it's okay that work will still be there tomorrow, or someone else will take care of it. That was the big thing running through my head, that, I have gotten better at boundaries, and I make sure that, like, there's times when I just don't answer my text message or things like that because I just can't.
Right. Well, and it's good that you are aware of this, because also remember that the email that's reaching out to you, or the text message that's reaching out to you, or the Marco, whatever it is, we have to always remember that people see from a different lens. Someone who's good at boundary setting they think we all should operate out of a boundary setting. So they would never be like, where is this person? But someone coming from a level 2, in that more black and white thinking, they're not even thinking about what the other person could do.
I feel like emails may be coming through and I feel that stress, like that I should be answering them, but it's like, that's that judgment of like, well, people aren't expecting me to drop everything and answer emails. Like I don't have to have it like the answer to them as fast as I normally do. So it's okay that I'm working from home and answering emails, but I stepped away to wash some dishes and I'm not answering you on the drop of a dime. Like, so it's something that I'm working on,
and chances are, again, most people would not expect, but
Right.
you may know of a couple that don't operate that way, because that's another thing. Email is a big thing that gets talked about with my clients that are working remote right now, and a lot of them are going through the same thing. I just have this tendency, I need to respond to it right away. Now I have a lot of level 5. I even have the one kind of a one touch rule. If I open an email and I read it, but I don't have time to respond, okay, I just burnt time by reading it, because when I go back to respond to it, I'm going to have to read it again.
Right.
So I feel like it costs me time. So sometimes I'm like, if I know I don't, unless you're waiting for something. Okay, level 5, another great level. This is your secondary when stress is not present, and it's not too far behind level 4. So again, level 4, 5, and 6, you definitely are showing a lot of higher anabolic levels. So level 5, your energetic profile contains 16.4%, and your energetic stress reaction contains 6% of this energy. This moderate to high anabolic energy is found in the greatest leaders in all walks of life. When you experience level 5 energy, you no longer perceive situations and people as good or bad, right or wrong. Individuals at this energy level are powerful, inspiring, and skilled at capitalizing on whatever opportunities present themselves. People who use a level 5 lens see others as gifted and full of potential. So if we play the game of life, a level 5 lens is going to think, we all win or we don't play. We're all in this together. Very collaborative thinking. The disadvantages at level 5, people can see so many opportunities that they might overthink things and experience paralysis by analysis, which could be something that happens as well, just in my knowing you. Okay, especially with lots of things you've wanted to do, which we can talk about that. They might be disengaged from their emotions because they are focusing on analyzing situations. Sometimes a high level of optimism can cause people to take too many risks.
I'd be interested to see, like, it's one of those things like hindsight is 2020, how I would have scored on this level 5 if I would have taken it a year ago, because I think I've made leaps and bounds in this area since then. I was working on a website for someone, and they've known me for quite a while, and they're like, well, I have some feedback for you, but I feel weird giving you this feedback because I don't want to make you mad. And I'm like, no, it's that thing of, I'm not offended by this. I'm learning something from you giving me your feedback, and it's your website. You should have what you want. So that's something
that's growth mindset, and that's growth mindset. So that's totally level 5. Yeah.
So that has it'd just be interesting, even if I were to take it at the end of last year to now, to see how much that has changed, because I really have it's something that's conscious at least once or twice a day of everything is going to play out how it's supposed to play out. So roll with the punches.
Yeah, absolutely. So are you saying a year ago, maybe, or even longer or less, had that client that you knew and you did a website for them, had they came back and said, hey, I just, a little bit of just some constructive criticism or whatever,
right,
you would have saw it from a different lens. Like you would have, you would have personalized it then into a little bit more. Yep.
Or I would have been like, no, I don't like how that looks. So I don't want you to, you to want that, but it's your website. It's not up to me. So it's that,
Yeah. Level 6 is high anabolic energy. When someone accesses their level 6 lens, they approach situations with openness, which you kind of shared in your little story about the person in the website. As a result, there is a strong connection to everyone and everything, as they see everyone else as part of themselves. Creative geniuses, visionaries, and brilliant and conscious leaders in all walks of life tap into this level of energy and use it to access their intuition and use it to create new and exciting innovations that benefit everyone. Clearly, you show up with this in level 6. based off of how you answered, when experiencing energy through this lens, there is a grand scheme to everything that happens in life, and you use creativity and intuition to make things happen clearly. Being a creative, you would. So what comes up for you with level 6?
It's funny, this came up for me. I mean, more and more when I'm working on websites, but the other day I was working on a website and I'm like, oh my gosh, this does not look right. I can't make it work. It just doesn't feel good to me. So after messing with it for, 15, 20 minutes, I'm like, I'm done with this for now. It's not serving me right now to do this. It's just making me mad. So I walked away. The next day I came back and looked at it and I'm like, I'm in the right headspace now. This is all making sense. This is so easy. And then I powered through 2 pages of the website in 2 hours without looking away. So it's just interesting that you say the intuitive, it's not working for me right now. I'm done. I'm going to go read.
That's great, because actually that's even what you shared. So in the moment when you were like, I just can't, I have to step away. Okay. Yeah. You were in 1 and 2 in your stress, but you actually shifted even while you were in stress. That's where you started to go here before you even got here. So it's interesting that happens. Different people are going to walk away from doing this and use it differently. Some may not use it at all. Some may. But I have clients, I have an email waiting for me right now that is for this coming Friday session. I have a client who constantly sends me screenshots of text messages between her and her sister and her mom, and tells me how before I did this ELI and knew the things that was happening to me, I would have responded so much different. Well, she just sent me a work email thread and said the same thing. I would have totally showed up different, but I also saw in the email, she said, look at how this other person is showing up. Definitely level 1 and level 2. So which cracks me up because she's judging. So right. You know what I mean? So, but anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the highest level of anabolic energy. This is the level of creation. No human resonates completely here, but with practice, everyone can learn to access it. The advantages at level 7, people have the ability to connect with their inner genius and co-create their life experiences.
Working on websites or helping other people grow their business. It's just that is where I find joy and happiness, and planning how I can make my future better. It's one of those things it just makes me giddy. I definitely see that when I'm you think of 5 years down the road, this is where I want to be. I'm going to figure out how to get there.
Yeah, I love that. So that's totally tapping into it, because and basically subconsciously what you're describing is the energy you're feeling in that moment. All right. Any last minute questions or thoughts?
I don't think so.
So what did you think?
This was fascinating. It really was just to think about where I am now compared to where I would have been.
Yeah.
Last year, even before my, I did my leadership course and things like that, how much, it's nice to see how much growth I've truly made in the past year and a half.
Yeah, definitely.
I can't even imagine what I would feel like if I didn't know all of this stuff, also dealing with anxiety and depression. It's kind of it's a scary thought to not have something to work towards and go towards. And, I still have my days that it's today, I just can't today.
Thank you, Haley. This was awesome.
Thank you so much.
I'm glad that you liked it, and I hope you utilize it.
Well, there you have it, an ELI assessment debrief with my business manager, Haley. Thank you so much, Haley, for just putting yourself out there and sharing a little bit of how you are showing up energetically. This is a confidential assessment, so for Haley to graciously accept to expose herself the way she did, I think is really powerful. So great job, Haley. Really appreciated her stepping up and offering to do this for us. Don't forget, drop down box below will be the link to sign up for your ELI assessment and debrief with myself or one of the other coaches on HCC. I listed all of them below. Any one of us can administer this assessment for you. Highly recommend that you do it. And don't forget to watch the other video that I mentioned at the beginning today, where I share some observations that I have been made aware of just by doing so many ELI assessments. All right, thank you for joining me today. Thank you to Haley, and we will all see each other soon in the next video. Take care.